Alright, are you ready to learn Project Spark? Let's jump into the creator mode, see what we got going on. I've messed with a little bit here, discovered some of what you can do. I will not be covering the programming section of it, which is the brains of the characters that you can create. I'm still messing with that. I want to understand it a little bit more before I do a video on any of it. Before we actually jump in and start learning about the editor, though, I would like to take a second to thank everybody that has subscribed. As of this video today, we are at 100 subscribers. Thank you everybody that has subscribed to the channel, who watches the videos. I really appreciate the support on the channel. The revenue from it really helps out with my family. So again, thank you to everybody that has subscribed. Thank you to everybody who will subscribe in the future. Alright, now that we got that out of the way, let's jump into the editor. The first thing you're going to want to do after you get into the editor mode, or creator mode, whichever it is you prefer to call it, hold down on your D-pad. You'll see on the right hand side it pops with the grid snap on, grid snap off. Grid snap off is a lot easier to work with. It is a free roam, free camera type. As you can see with the grid snap on, it's just a pain. It slows it down a lot and jumps from place to place. So let's leave the grid snap off. That way we've got more control over our camera. Now, if you hit A, it brings up your actual menu. Now, the nature, river, town stuff I have not messed with too much. What I will be covering today is your basics on adding, subtracting, expanding, smoothing, all that. And it really is very, very basic. So if we go with expand, I'm going to jump outside of the area that I've actually created here, which the area I've created is just really a generic cavern style area, just messing around, trying to get a feel for the thing. Now if we head outside here, after you get the grid snap, Y and X. That's how you go upscale and downscale to get higher elevation and lower elevation. So if you say you throw in some right here, you're pushing it up, you reach your max. Hit Y, bring it up some more. This allows you to create plateaus, or you can bring it down to level it out some, whichever way you need to do it. And then if you just do add, again, it's just hit A, scroll up and down through the menu to where you need to be, go over to add. That will actually add it at the elevation you are currently at. And see, if you keep going up, it's just going to add it in midair. You will not have anything below it. However, you can go back and add underneath of it. And then left and right on your D-pad during the editing will actually select which template you're using. If it's snow, grass, desert, which one you want to use. So see, if we go over a couple, excuse me, that's actually going to start using the snow type. And yes, this program / game does love to save a lot. It gets a little bit annoying at times. Just deal with it. It's for your own safety, for your own benefit, just in case it crashes. Just hitting right trigger will add it. However, you can hold right trigger and just use your left analog stick to run with it. Just go with the flow. And there you have a wall around a little area. The smoothing I haven't really worked with too much. Assuming that could probably be used to make like a staircase. Yeah, it looks like it probably could. Wrong button. See, I'm not even fully used to this thing yet. Plateau will actually take what you have and it just pulls it upward. Doesn't seem like it really works all that great though, unless I'm just doing something wrong, of course. Also, if you are done with that section and you just go to the arrow key, hit A on it, it does add a little bit more on the features. Alright, now let's jump down into the Add Edit Props. When you first hit A on it, you will have a selection of what you can use down here. You can either use the left and right D-pad to scroll through what you have previously used, or if you hit up on your D-pad, it will actually bring up a menu of everything you can go through. Excuse me. Now, you'll notice that a lot of items have the coin and the gold brick on them. That means you have to purchase these items. As you play through other people's levels, what they've created, as you create your own, in the upper right corner you have a level for your spark. You will level up, you will unlock more items on here, so you actually do not have to purchase them. Prior to actually creating this area and playing the game a little bit, there was a lot of stuff I didn't have on here, and now it has actually added it. I believe I never had the coin before, or the coin pile. So yeah, just keep messing around with it. The more you create, the more you play, the more you're going to level up, the more you're going to unlock. Anyway, your first page here is just basic construction items, you know, trees, tents, barrels, coins. And that's if I can stay where I want to be. Alright, if you stay up, go over, hit A. This is your characters. A lot of these will still be locked for most people if you're just starting out. They don't have a really wide selection right now. Again, the game still is in beta mode, so let's hope upon release that they actually have a wider selection. Over one more from characters is your champions. This is the actual character that you want the player to play as. One more over is effects. I have messed around with the effects a little bit. In one of my caverns I actually added a breeze to it, so as you're walking through the cavern it actually sounds like it's more of a cold cavern with a breeze coming through it. See, I'm going through it and I really see a lot here. I haven't messed with a lot of it though. There's a lot you could do with this. And then over from that you have your different sound effects. These will add no visualization. It is literally just sound effects. You can add them in to create different sounds throughout the gameplay. Yeah, seem like they're very basic sound effects too. Okay, now it gives me a demonstration of it. Okay. And the very last tab up there is assemblies. This one I'm really not all too sure about. I have not messed with the assemblies at all. I would assume it would be used later on for when you're actually connecting items to each other to make them interact within the world. You know, like if you want the player to actually have to go talk to somebody prior to opening a treasure chest, and you connect that NPC character to the treasure chest, you'd probably have to use assembly to do it, as well as I can't even think of the name of it now. Attach. There you go. Yeah, the attach feature is to take two different objects or more and attach them together to make them work as one. So that would be, for example, like I just said, if you attached an NPC character to a treasure chest and make it to where the player has to go talk to the person before they can open the treasure chest. Or you can attach, say, a rune key to a door. That way you have to go pick up the key and able to open the door. The power and the multi-edit I have not messed with at all. Not really sure yet what they do. If anybody has any suggestions, if they actually know about the stuff that I haven't messed with, feel free to post comments underneath the video. It's more than welcome. The paint is really just so you can overlay what you've already put down. Like, I've got the snow area here. Say if I actually want to turn it into grass, I just use left and right on the D-pad, select which one I want, hold the right trigger, and it overlays it with a different type. That way, if you messed up, if you started out using one and then later on discovered, you know, hey, I really wanted to use something else, just use paint, select which type you want, and just throw it over top of what you already put down, and your problem is solved. You don't have to go through and erase everything, start all over. It just makes it a lot easier that way. And that's really about all I've messed with so far on this. As I discover more in it, I will post on it, though. That's assuming I continue to use the program. Let's see here. This is the cavern that I was working with a little bit. You can throw down bad guys throughout it. You can see here, probably hear it as well if your sound is up enough. That is the wind that I added into this very first cavern. I added like 3 of them in here, so it actually sounds like a massive wind going through the cavern. Character starts off at a bonfire. You get to pick up a sword. The little satchel, book bag, whatever it is, sack, doesn't do anything. Neither does a campfire. It's just kind of like the feel for it, you know, make them feel like they're starting off in an RPG type element. You're at a bonfire. You can add a story in later, make sure the player understands what's going on in the world you created. I will show you a little bit on this. See if you actually go hit A, go to add edit props. Now instead of going and adding more, highlight one that you already have, hold your left bumper, that brings up your character studio, edit, brain, and delete options. If you just hit Y and go into the brain, you will see that it actually does require some knowledge on the programming language. Not too much at all, really. Like I said, I will play with this more later to discover what all it can do. It really does look like you can do a lot with it. But it's basic statements saying when this happens, the character does this. So, I mean, you can make it. You can set it to where you've got an NPC that when the character talks to them, they respond in the way that you want them to respond to the player, or you know, they begin to follow the player, saying, "I know the way." And you know, you can make them talk to the player as the game progresses while they're following the player, or they can give the player an item. Whatever it is you want that NPC to do, or how you want the actual player character to react during the gameplay. You can change the button layouts. You know, if you don't want magic in there, you can take out the magic, which is, on mine, would be the Y. That is the default for the character that you throw in. Y will shoot the magic ball. X would be attack. A is jump. It's really just, there's a lot to it. Yeah, not something I'm really ready to cover just yet. Don't want to sound like a complete idiot. Just go start talking about it when I really don't know what I'm talking about because I have not used it a lot. You can also use, once you hit left bumper, instead of hitting A, B, X, or Y, if you hit left and right on your left analog stick, you'll see scale, rotate X, Y, and Z. Use your right analog stick and you can actually make your person bigger or smaller, or object, whatever it is you have highlighted. Alright, so that's about it for this one. Now, like I said, post in the comments. If you have anything to add, feel free. It's more than welcome. Hope everybody found this a little bit useful at least. This was a request from another viewer on my other Project Spark video. So everybody that does watch this, again, thank you. I appreciate everybody's help and supporting the channel. And If this didn't help you out, I'm sorry. I'm sure there are other videos out there that are better than this one that actually cover more in depth on the editing process. So, hope everybody has a great day.